Let's solve this together. It says m squared minus n is equal to 73 and n squared minus m is equal to 73. We have to solve for the value of m and n, given that m is not equal to m. Okay? Now, first thing we can say, let's subtract these two equations. So we can say equation 1 minus equation 2 would give us m squared minus n squared minus n. Minus times minus is plus, m is equal to 30. Okay? Now we now have, this is difference of two squares. So we can say that m plus n multiplied by m minus n, okay, plus m minus n, interchange this, is equal to 0. We can now factor out m plus m minus n. So we have m minus n into, so we have m plus n. Okay, now this is what? Plus 1 is equal to 0. Alright? Now from here we now have that it's either that m plus n is equal to 0, implying that m is equal to n, but m is not equal to n, so m is not equal to n. For this second part, we say that m plus n plus 1 is equal to 0. So we have that m plus n is equal to negative 1. Alright? Now, let's now add the two equations and see what we get. Now we have equation 1 plus equation 2 would have m squared plus n squared, m squared plus n squared. Okay? Now we have minus n minus m is equal to 146. Okay? Now that's m squared plus n squared. This is minus into m plus n is equal to 146. Okay? Now moving on from here, we can now say that our m squared plus n squared, m plus n is minus 1, so we have minus times minus 1 is plus 1 is equal to 146. Okay, now from here we have that m squared plus n squared is equal to 145. Okay, now moving on from here, we can say that, recall that if we have m squared, m plus n all squared, it's equal to m squared, okay, plus n squared plus 2mn. Right? Now, from here, we can say that our m squared plus n squared, as we've seen here, is 145. So this is equal to 145 plus 2mn. And our m plus n all squared is the same thing as m plus n is minus 1. So minus 1 all squared is 1. Okay? So invariably means our 2mn is equal to is 144 minus, alright? So this is minus 144. Now, let's just keep this like this, okay? And say, when we have m minus n all squared is equal to, so we have m squared plus m squared, so, minus 2mn, okay? Now moving on from here, we can now say that, recall that our m squared plus n squared is equal to 145. Now, so since m squared plus n squared is 145 in this equation, so we have m minus n all squared to be equal to 145. 2mn is negative 144, so we have minus 2mn will now be plus 144. Now we have this to be equal to 289. Our m minus n all squared. Now taking the square root of both sides, we have square root of this side and square root of this side. So we have that m minus n alone will now be equal to plus or minus square root of 289 is 17. Alright? So we can now split this up. Alright? So we have that our m minus n is equal to 17, or our m minus n is equal to negative 17. Alright? Now let's compare this with the equation that says that our m plus n is equal to minus 1, m plus n is equal to minus 1. Alright? Let's add up these two equations. If we add up these two equations, we have that 2m is equal to 16, m here is equal to 8. Alright? Or putting m as 8 in equation 2, we have that n will be equal to minus 1 minus 8, which is minus 9. And on this side, doing the same thing, we have m plus m is 2m. Now we have to be equal to minus 18. Okay, now from here our m is equal to minus 9. Okay, now putting m as minus 9 in equation 2, we have minus 9 plus n is negative 1. Crossing over, we have 9 minus 1 to be 8, so n is equal to 8. Okay, now these are the two answers for this equation. So invariably, what we're trying to say here is that, m comma n is equal to 8 comma minus 9, or we have that m comma n is equal to, okay, minus 9 comma 8. Okay, so these are the two answers for this equation. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video.